Hello shape enthusiasts, are you guys sick of the Vortex company and all their shenanigans asking you to make all sorts of random shapes? Well, welcome to the MAM series, where we're going to create a factory that can automatically create any random shape. It'll take in one of every shape, one of every color, and then spit out any random milestone shape that the Vortex company can throw at us. In the last episode, we finished off with this module and created sort of a semi-functional MAM. Our MAM can currently create any random shape as long as it doesn't have any color and it's a single layer. So it's a very basic MAM at the moment, but we're going to improve on its functionality today, and I think we're going to get it to paint some of these shapes the correct color, so at least we can create single layer colored shapes. Additionally, if we have some extra time in the end of the episode, I want to address this tangled spaghetti mess over here, because I've been receiving a few comments that suggest that what I'm doing here is a little bit redundant. So before we kick off, let's just quickly review what we've done. We're getting a belt of every single full shape, and it's being run through these quarter cutters, which is splitting them into 4 belts of the quarter of the shape. Then these 4 belts are going into each of these platforms, and these platforms have a little bit of circuitry logic to filter the shape. You can see each belt has one of each quarter shape coming through, and then based on the signal it receives, it filters that shape only. And we have one for each quarter of the shape. Then we also have new platforms to rotate that shape into its correct quarter. Then we created a platform that can piece all of that back together and create our final shape, which is what you see here. And that is now being delivered and completing our operator level as we do new things. All right, so what's the logical next step for our MAM? I believe that we need to color these shapes, right? Because before you piece a shape together, it should get colored. The reason why I did this a little bit out of order is just because the testing shapes that they're giving me are all uncolored. So hopefully after we complete a few of these, it'll give me a good test shape to work with a little bit of color. But while we're waiting for that, we can start trying to figure out some of the logic behind how we're going to get it colored. So this part of the factory over here will get cut and moved somewhere further down the line. But in here will be the coloring module. Let's start with the platform, as we always do, and let's see what we can do. So let's say in an ideal world, we're piping in 7 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's also going to be an option for uncolored, obviously. So there's going to be 8 options of coloring that every quarter shape can be. If we look at any shape, each of these quarters can be any of those 8 colors: uncolored, red, blue, green, and all the mixed colors as well as white. What does that tell us? How do we use that information? I think the way we approach this is we think about, in an ideal world, what we'd like to happen. So obviously we're going to need some sort of painter. If we go to our fluid buildings and go to our painter, then we would like a pipe that comes in. This is ideal world and maybe not possible. We would like these, say we had 7 colors coming in like this. We'd like some sort of logic circuit that goes, is this the color I want? Yes, pipe that color through only. And then that color goes into a painting array, which then paints the quarter shape that color. However, I think I already foresee an issue, because while we can filter our shapes very easily with logic circuits, not here, but over here where we did our top left, bottom right, and all that stuff, see how we're just getting the 4 shapes, and then we're using a belt filter to go, is this the shape that I want? Yes. And if it's not, block all of them and then just merge that output into a singular belt. We'd love to do something similar with the colored pipes, right? If we have 7 different colors coming in here, it would be awesome to go, do I want my shape to be red? Yes, only pipe red through into the final pipe and then it colors it red. That would be the best thing to do. But unless I'm missing something, there's not a wire that can do that, is there? We have belt control, there's no pipe control. But if I am missing something, please let me know in the comments. So we're going to have to take a slightly different approach. If there's no such thing as a pipe control, then we're going to need our belt of shapes. Assume there's a belt of shapes coming in here, right? Maybe we should do this with a belt of shapes so we can see what's going on. I'm going to build a shape extractor like this. It doesn't need to be a full belt. I don't really care. I just want a shape. Build my platform near the colors to play on. Might need a triple platform because there's 7 color inputs to come in, right? So that's going to be very hard to wire in. We're going to have to wire 3 down here, and then we'll bring all the 7 colors in so we know what we're talking about. We'll bring the shape down, and this will be our little playground to figure out what logic circuit we're going to make. So let me just grab a pipe of each color, and then we can get started. Alright guys, here are my colored pipes. If yellow would just pipe in the right way. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you, yellow. There we go. We've got our 7 colored pipes, and we've got our shape finally appearing. So it would be nice for this to go, it would be nice for us to be able to just somehow pick the color using, say, a liquid filter and go, is it white? Yes, let the white through, etc. And then just merge it into one pipe and then paint the shape. But I don't think that is possible. So I believe we're going to have to do some crazy logic that does the shape and sends it into a different painter, right? It only makes sense that since I can't do anything with these colors at all, I'm going to need a separate painter for each color. I don't see any way around that. So for example, what I mean by that is I'm just going to set up some painters over here with plenty of spacing. I don't think I need that many, but that's fine. Let's just center it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 painters, 7 colors. Excellent. So what I mean by that is, say I have a painter for each color. Alright, so say we have a painter of every single color. And this, just pretend this is our quarter shape, but it's a full shape, it's fine. We need this shape to decide which painter am I going to go to, right? Am I going to go to this painter? Or this yellow one, or this green one, cyan, magenta, blue, or white? Or am I going to be uncolored? It's going to have 8 decisions to make, right? And then the painted shape is just going to go out onto a singular belt that can go across, which I'm not going to draw because this is all theoretical anyway. But you can imagine once the shape is painted, we just, it'll only ever go through one of these 8 paths, and then we can just merge the 8 paths into one singular path, and that's the final output. But we got to deal with the input first. How can we get this shape to decide which path to go? Well, the only thing that can split a belt is a belt filter. So let's go grab one of those in the wire section, and we will grab a belt filter. But how can we wire our brain, or the wiring thing, to tell this belt filter which direction to go? In fact, this is going to have 8 paths it can take. So do we need 8 belt filters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I'm doing this extremely redundantly, please let me know. I'm going to turn these a little bit like this, so then they can easily meet up with this, right? So this, for example, these different belt filters will tell it to go to different belts. Is this the right approach? I don't know. Let's test it and find out. We test and we try things, and that is how we get to our final MAM. We're not going to have the solution straight away, guys, and that's all right. You're not always going to find the correct solution the first time. What we do the first time is we make a solution that seems to make sense. And then we test it, and then we ask ourselves, will there be an easier way to do this? Does this look overly complicated? But the logic that I've used so far tells me that, I don't know, it tells me that there is no other way I can see to do this, because you can't filter the color. So therefore you need one painting for each color, and the best way is to get the shape to decide which direction it can go, and it can go 8 directions because it could be any one of these colors or uncolored. So each one of these belt filters is going to filter for a different color. So this one is going to go, is the color uncolored? This one is going to need to be is this color, is my shape blue? And then send it through, right? Because if that, well, let's get our signal and then we can figure out what to do with it, right? So here's our brain. Oh, cool. Hey, did our milestone deliver? Oh, our shape is green. Awesome. Perfect test. So we can use our milestone shape. Great. We'll use the top right bit because we can, whatever we do here, it can always be extended out. So let's take a copy of our brain because our brain has the signal that we need. And let's just plop it down anywhere, like over here, so the wire can come in. So the brain, if you don't remember, is the global wire receiver. It's pulling in the random operator shape 0, which is this shape over here. And currently it's asking us to create this shape, but green. You can see my MAM is probably already trying to produce that shape, but because we don't have the coloring portion of it, it's not able to. So let's go back and let's make it able to color. So in the shape analyzer, this thing, it spits out this, what shape the top right part is, but and that's what we've been using so far, but we need to start using the color portion. So somehow this color wheel tells us this signal is green. So somehow this signal has to tell this shape to go to the green path. It needs to go, this is the correct path to take, and all of these other paths are wrong. Along all these other paths, it needs to pass. So this signal is green. It's saying is green. So if it's green, basically, I'm gonna do this in programming logic. So basically the first signal needs to ask, am I uncolored? No. If not, then go straight. If yes, then go that way, right? And that signal is green. So do we need to use, and this is probably the most complicated way to do it, but here's the most dumb way to do it. We can use this equal comparison thing to go is equal to what is an uncolored signal look like? I don't actually know. Go back to my brain and have a look. An uncolored signal looks like a null signal. Also, somebody told me there's a difference between the on-off color and the null color. And I think that's going to be an important distinction. So let me just quickly figure that out too while I'm here. Where's my button? So if I just get a wire with a button, this is off, this is on, and that's null. That's on, off, and null. I don't see a difference in the wire between a null signal and an off signal. Honestly, it's the same. Is it? Apparently someone said one's dark green denoting off and one denotes null, because null is not the same as off. And I think this is giving a null signal. So we can go, is the signal I want equal to null, which is just basically a signal producer, right? And that's null. And then the output of this is going to go yes or no. Then we can wire that into where we want. Oh no, I didn't leave enough space for myself to work. As usual, if we get a wire to go in here, we can go, is this null? And it's going, no, it's not null. So it's going into the side belt, but we want to invert that signal. So let's give ourselves a NOT gate. Right? So we go, is this signal null? No. Therefore, it should go straight, which hits the next gate. And the next gate needs to check, is this signal white? So let me cut this, and does this mean I'm going to need a lot of logic circuits? Or can I just like put it here? No, because I need the wire to peel off here. Oh no, each one of these is staggered. Is this like a nested if statement basically? Let's test this. I'm going to use green. I'm going to use, wait, no, I can't use green because it needs to pass through every part of the logic gate, damn it. Where is green? Green is like all the way heaps far away. So this part of the circuit checks. Is it null? Oh, right. No, I don't want to do that because this part of the circuit, once it's out, it needs to wire into this little bit here, right? That's that. But I still want to check the main signal. I don't want to check the knotted signal from the comparator. I want to check the main signal coming out of this thing. So I need another signal producer. The next one's going to go, is the signal white? How do I do white? Color W. I just want to make sure color W is white. Ah, yep, that's white. Look at that. So it's going to go, is the signal white? And it's going to be saying, no, it's not. Going through the NOT gate and going, yes, it is. Should I turn my signal generators the other way? I'll figure out a design. Let's just get it working first. Then we keep going with that same logic. Then we need to check, is the signal blue? So it's going to be color B. And this is seeming like dumber and dumber ways to do this. And then if it is blue, then it needs to tell the belt filter. Oh man, I'm running out of space already. That is blue, but we've almost got to green. We've almost got to green. We might need to cut this this belt craziness and just give it like a bit of space. would be smart. I always say leave enough room to work, and then I never ever leave myself enough room to work. So the last copy of this signal, why am I doing this crazy toning? Let's just get it working first. Again, get everything working first. So yeah, this thing is checking, what is this one linked to? This one is checking, is it blue? And then it's going, nope, it's not blue, pass through. Then it's gonna have to check the next color. Same, right? So then it will check, is this magenta? What is magenta? Color M? Yeah. They'll go, is it magenta? And then go control this belt based on that signal, right? And then it's like, nope, that's fine, keep going. And then we need to do some more checks. So we're gonna add more checks over here and here and here. And I didn't leave myself enough room to do anything. Excellent. This logic circuit seems massive. What's the next thing it's got to check for? Then it's got to check, is it cyan? And then wire it out this way. Oh man, I really didn't leave myself enough room to do this, right? Let me just move them over here. The last 3 checks. I just want to test this it works. Why is it green? I just wanted a proof of concept. I didn't want to do all this mess. Holy crap. Sorry guys. But yeah, I think this is going to work. So it's going, is it cyan? Right? This one leads to cyan painting. And it's like, no. So I'm going to check the next color. And then I'm just going to stop at green. Because you guys get the point. Now, hopefully this is the moment of truth. Is it green? Yes, it is. So hence it's going to be a green signal, right? But we need to not it because of the order of operations of this gate. The no signal makes it go out the side lane. So yeah, it's green. And therefore I'm going to get green. And that's going to be my final shape, right? See, all these belts can just join. I think that's a working concept. Can we do this easier? Always ask yourself, can we do things easier? So let's take my belt filters out again. Because remember, when you're duplicating this sort of logic, every single thing, even a NOT gate, is increasing it. Like when you have to do it 7 times, is taking up 1 extra tile and just making your build all that much bigger. So how can we control this? Like what happens if you send a signal directly in here? Then it's going green, but this is just a green signal. But it doesn't do anything, right? There's no way I can send a signal directly into a belt filter and then it just knows, because a belt filter filters shape. I assume if you sent a green signal into a belt filter, it'll filter out the green shape. It'll let the green shape through, and then if it's not green, then it'll dump it. But that doesn't help our situation in any way, shape, or form, right? Because we're trying to tell it, yeah, I think this is the only solution. The only way I want to redesign this, essentially, let's abstract the problem again. I don't want it to be the side belt that sends it. I probably want the main belt to send it, because if that's the case, then I can just get rid of all these NOT gates, and that'll be 1 tile of space saved. So if I get my belt filter and do something a little bit different, but then is my belt filter going to be super annoying? Because this just goes straight, right? Then I want this thing to go straight. So that means, so if it is yes, I want it to go out. What? I'm confusing myself. Belt filter. So it needs to go out like this. Like these are the paths to go out. And then the belt, when the belt comes in, it needs to come in like this. Then that. No, but then that splits. It'll have to come out. To continue, it'll have to come out like that. I mean, that makes the belt super janky, but it makes the signaling slightly easier. And you need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. And then you need to give it a bit of spacing because the signal needs to come in somehow. But then the signal portion will be a lot cleaner. Or is it better with the extra NOT gate? What is actually smaller without having to actually design this thing? Look how long this belt's going to become then. That's not even how you do it. We're going to need to get that there. And then that. And then copy that over. Look how long this belt's going to become to filter 8 things. I'm going to have to do this 4 times. It'll be like this. Let's do it with the signal comparator. So I don't need the NOT gate anymore, but I need a comparator for each one of my signals. So here's the signal. There'll be an input signal to compare to. So say this is the input signal line. I can peel off the input signal line, and then I would probably want this like as close as humanly possible to this, if not directly on it. Can I put it directly on it? I could. I have to move my belt 1 more tile down. Is that worth it? So if I put it there and the belt comes in like that, that's my input, right? And then that's the color that this one goes out. And then there needs to be an output there. Oh man. And then the signal's gonna be there, and then it needs to jump the signal. Oh man, this design is going to be horrendous. Well, I'm going to have to just do the dumbest one I can because I'm wasting too much time on design, and you guys, we're not optimizing the MAM, guys. We're going for functionality. So something's gonna need a jump because I need to duplicate whatever happens here over 3 floors, I think. So let's assume the shape comes in there and the input wire comes in there. Remember, we have full control of the input wire, so that's fine. Do I need that much space? I'm trying to make it as small and compact as possible. So it's comparing, and then sending the signal there, and then it's jumping the output out. That is probably the system that I want to copy, right? Let's just copy one across like that. Then we'll belt it, and we should be able to copy and paste that design 8 times. I want to just copy it with everything, and then it goes forward. So if I delete all of this and I just copy now this little module I created, that should, in theory, do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man, look how big this thing is. I need a new platform, guys. I need a new platform. I need a clean platform to work on. Alright. No, wait, that's not the whole thing. That's alright. That's the whole thing. Is this like one module of this thing? Oh lord. Oh lord. I'm not liking how big this is getting. I'm probably doing this in the most inefficient way possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more. That is 1 unit, right? So based on the color of the signal, let's just do the colors. We'll go color R, color G, color B, RGB, color C, color M, color, what am I missing? Cyan, magenta, yellow, and color white. This is my belt that decides which way it goes out, and this is my output. And the output goes to different painters. So this needs to go into now a painting array. Well, okay, I'm not going to do the painting on the platform. We just need the logic selection on the platform, and then we can wire these out to 8 different exits. And then we'll do the painting on a painting platform, right? That only makes sense. Because we can, what I'm thinking is we'll have our blueprint painter, like here, and then the shape will always go in, but then which platform, each one will be wired to a different color. So we'd have 8 of these, 7 of these platforms, and then we need this platform to come out with 8 different cables to go into 8 different belts, sorry, to go into 8 different painters. So this thing just needs to do belt splitting. So basically all of these white belts need to join together and come out one of these exits, and there's going to be 8 exits. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what needs to come in? 1 input of my quarter shape. This is gonna be complex. Belt magic. I don't know. We're definitely gonna need a 3x3 platform because the 2x2 platform is not even gonna be able to house anything. And yeah, interesting. But this is my logic circuit and it should work. We should test our logic circuit. I'm getting ahead of myself because, you know, we're gonna do everything 1 step at a time, guys. 1 step at a time. Each one of these will need a brain, which I'm just gonna put here for now. And if we hook up our brain into our logic circuit, let's just ensure this works. Everything is on. Well, yeah, everything is on. But only one of these should come out, right? So if I give this now a shape, it should work. Forgotten how to put a belt down, guys, sorry. When I'm thinking and preoccupied, sometimes my mind's just like thinking about the next step already. Anyway, I'm gonna let this run for a while and I'm gonna put a bin. Then I will come back and we will have a look if it's working. I don't want to bore you guys with this thing running. Alright. It looks like it's feeding. So right now our circuit is wanting green. So it's going through the null circuit going, nope, it's not null. Nope, it's not red. Oh, it is green. And then it's going through the green. That's exactly what we want. Now this belt just needs to output to a space belt, which goes to a static green painter. Do I want a static green painter, or is it better to build my painting array right here? But then this thing's going to be massive because there's going to be like, remember, this is a full belt of shapes. If I build my painters right here, that's just silly. That would be silly, right? That's definitely silly. Because then for each one of these, they need a different painter, and then I need to wire 8 input colors into here, and you need 4 painters per thing. No, that is absolutely incorrect. No, we stick with the plan. This is just a brain. This is just going to determine which path my shape takes into the space belt. So let's say we have 8 space belts coming out, 1 for each color and 1 for a bypass. So 7, say 8, right? This is going to need to wire into 8 space belts. Oh man. How am I going to cable this out into 8 space belts? Alright, one step at a time, guys. Cable out into 8 space belts. Additionally, have the wiring work. And an input for each one. Oh lord. Alright, well. Okay, our MAM's not working anyway, so let's just take our concept. Let's just delete the crap so my computer doesn't die on me. We'll delete this. We don't need any of this stuff anymore. We've proven ourselves the concept that works. We'll take it, we'll put it into our actual device. So over here, the reason why I can cut off my MAM now is because this is green shape, so it's not producing the right shape anyway. So I don't need this running. Let's cut the MAM. Goodbye, MAM. You've done your job. You got us through the basic uncolored shapes. Well done. Let's remove this, and we'll do this with a real wire of shapes. So this is the top right of my shape, and it's an actual shape. So now it's going to come out with a full 12 belt of this thing, so we can test it into our coloring array. Let's get rid of these belts, and let's start designing, guys. The funnest part. If you guys don't want to see this design process, because what is this process basically? It's just me wiring the belts, right? Maybe I will just skip forward through it, but I don't know what you guys find interesting and not. So the first thing I think I need to do is to condense my brain, because this signal producer needs to produce signal, and instead of putting it somewhere down here, I think I'm going to put it in the middle this time. Let's try that. Let's try putting the brain in the middle, and then this signal that it's coming out with needs to go through a shape analyzer, and I'm saving as many tiles as possible because I don't think I'm going to have much space to do anything. So Shift 3-2 is my wire. The shape analyzer, we want the top signal. We don't care about this side signal. So maybe I can put my display underneath it because I do want to see the color of what it's doing. I do need to leave a little bit of space for my other stuff, because remember, if we want the other quadrants of shapes, we need up to 3 rotators. Oh my god, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put it out here, because remember, if you want the, I'll just show you guys. If we want, say, the top right shape, not the top right, but the bottom left, the top left, that has 1 rotator on it, as you can see. This one has 2 rotators on it, and then this one has 3 rotators on it. Unfortunately, the simulated building's rotation only has 1. So if you want to rotate it the other direction, you need 3 rotators. So we need to leave room for up to 3 rotators for the future. Look, we try to future-proof where we can. We don't always think of every single scenario. But these will be the rotators. This will be the output signal shape, and that's green. And then this shape can come out, and it can feed into our various setups. So where are we going to put these setups is the question. Obviously, I want my output facing out. So something like this, yeah, because the signal doesn't care where it's coming from. The input's coming from here, so I definitely want my input to be like, save this space for input, like 2 cables. Oh, this is like 4 cables of input. I'm going to do my input and output at the same time because I've learnt my lesson from all my damn designs. So these 2 cables will input directly down there. But 2 of these cables, at least, I keep calling these cables. I gotta stop calling them cables. You're gonna till people. 2 of these belts are gonna have to come over here and go here somehow. Well, we can maybe afford 1. No, I don't even think we can afford 1 tile of space, guys. We're gonna have to just do it super tight, because think about the routing on this. It's gonna be insanity. We might have to even split this into 2 platforms, although I don't really want to, because... Alright, let's just start copying. There's no point trying to overthink this. Where's the symmetric line I'm using? Why am I creating so much space in the middle? Nothing else needs to happen in this middle part. Let me take this and just put it directly here, right? Because after the hop, nothing else needs to happen. It just can go straight into the first signal sender. We make this super condensed, super packed. Nothing needs to happen here. Why waste tiles? So let's copy this. Let's flip it for the second one. And then we need the brain to tell it to do stuff. So we need the wire to go into the right spot. Why is it doing a loop-de-loop? It can come straight out here onto here. Then this wire needs to go over there. So I'm gonna need to use the wire hopper. It's a wire transmitter. So if I transmit the wire like that and then get that to wire, that's pretty clean for 2. The inputs are done. See, look, it's going through the green now. See that? That's cool. Oh, the outputs are going to be a nightmare. The input's the easy part, guys. The input's the easy part. All right, let's copy another one over. That's this side's one. So we can put it somewhere. It doesn't need to be lined up, but we don't need anything. So let's save as much space over here. And then we'll save as much space over here. All right, so the wiring can be pretty simple. We'll do the simple stuff first, and then we'll do the hard stuff later. All right, there's the input all done. All 4 inputs are done. Cool. So we got input. And they're all creating the belt to go to green. I bet someone's watching me do this and they're screaming at me right now like, you're doing it wrong, you're overcomplicating this so much. But this is the only way I currently know how to do it. But we need to mix all these input belts together and get them out. So what the plan is, if you guys haven't been clear yet, there's going to be 8 outputs, right? Something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 7 output, and then 1 for bypass. There's going to need to be 8 outputs, guys, for this whole crazy shenanigan mess. And we're going to need to merge the right ones together. So I guess these 2 are null. Let's do the nulls first, and the nulls can come out this side. So let's get rid of the bins, and let's get these nulls going together. So let's see, is there, like, if I break my symmetry, is there a better way to do this? Not really, because this is the only place it comes out. So it needs to come back, and it needs to go back to the other side somehow. How is it possible to go back to the other side? How big are my hoppers? Can this thing hop the entire system? It could hop the entire system were I to give it some room to do so. So the wire input can be a little bit tighter than this. Let's see what my hoppers, because like, how would I get to the other side? I need a lot of these, some of these cables to get to the other side. So I need a pattern to get through. And there's so many, the platform's not big enough. I need a bloody 4x4 platform. So if I go over here and I hop, how far can I hop? I can definitely hop the system. So I need 2 to hop into the middle here, like that. And that's where the hopping starts. But that's where the wire needs to go. Damn. And there's no way I can hop from here. Oh wait, I can't. No, I can't. The hopper's like 1 tile too short. Let me think about this for a second. I don't want to access the second platform in any way, shape, or form, because that won't be good. Hop, hop. And whatever happens on this side needs to happen on this side. Why do my wires need to be so far out? Can this be in any further? No. Is there a better design for this whole shenanigan? Do I need to block myself off like this? Like, do I need to cut off an entire half of a platform for myself? There's no good way to do this. The hoppers for once in my life are too small. Well, at least 3 of these need to go across to the other side somehow. I can go up, but then where will my other things go? Can't go up because there's going to be a whole layer of stuff in the middle of the above one too. Man, what the heck? Alright, challenge our assumptions time. Alright, do we need to flip this? Will flipping it help me more somehow? Let's take one, because the input is easy and we're doing the input we're using all the middle real estate to do input. So let's challenge all our assumptions and see if we can't get this done better. So if we do that, and let's get the wire closer as well. We need to constantly do redesign. There we go, that's better. Don't know why the wire did something crazy then. Alright, so that's my input wire. Sorry, I need this to match this thing. What if we flipped it? What is the implication of flipping it? If we did it the other way around. Like this. And make the input slightly harder, but all the outputs come out the middle now. Because I thought coming out the side would be easy. But I don't think it is. I still can't hop this entire system, can I? And that's the problem. The problem is this thing is 1 tile too wide to hop the entire system. So I need to redesign this thing to be a little bit more space efficient. And is there any way to do that? Let me try to redesign this module to be 1 tile narrower. What is causing all this space usage? Why is it so... If I make it narrower, will it make it longer? Because I can't afford it to make it longer either. So if I take this and this... This is essentially the core system that needs to function, right? And then there needs to be a comparator and an operator cable, an input cable. Does it need to be this? Or am I just overcomplicating it? Would the old design work better? Let's validate that assumption first. Let's undo that. We'll compare. We'll build both builds and then we'll compare. Maybe because this is so fat, it's not working well anymore and I'm overcomplicating this design and we can build something much more compact. Let's start with the old build again. I think we had just belt filters feeding into each other like this. I mean, it's already looking a little smaller. There's 8 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then these need to read the signal. And it needs to go through an operator comparison with a thing. So that's the thing it needs to do. But then it needs to output the signal. So maybe these need a little bit of a gapping, something like that. Then we can bring that in. But it needs to be, the signal needs to be knotted, right? So there does need to be an extra operation, but we do have plenty of space there. Maybe this original design is better. I said we could remove a knot. That's so funny. I said let's do this complex design so we can eliminate a knot gate, but I ended up using 20 extra tiles to avoid that knot gate. Are you serious? You can very easily get tunnel visioned in this game and end up building something super inefficient. Imagine if we managed to hop this and then we ended up building our whole wiring system with this super massive and unnecessary build. And this just goes out without any jumpers or anything. What the heck am I doing? Guys, please flame me in the comments. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, that's it. It's just this. And then that copied over 8 times. That's the whole system. But we have a little bit of a problem in that I don't even know if it can jump this. Because at the end of the day, wherever you output, it's going to need to hop over itself, right? So we need to give it that functionality. No matter how much I build it, because there's 8 outputs, every single one of these belts is going to need to go to every single one of these out. So at some point it needs to hop over itself. But with the smaller design, I suppose I can just route it normally. But let's try to build this in such a way that it is possible for it to hop over itself if I need to. Oh, and it is possible. Look at that. There's plenty of room to hop over itself. It can just loop around itself and hop over itself if it ever needs to do that. Great. That is amazing. Now I need to copy over all the different colors again. Yeah, that is definitely a much better build. Look at that. What the heck? That is so much simpler. Let's just validate that it works first before we get too excited about what's going on. Much smaller. Don't get tunnel vision, guys. Do not get tunnel vision and force yourself into building a crazy complex build that doesn't need to be crazy complex. We'll give some room for the input in the middle. Let's just give it plenty of room in the middle. How about that? That way it can do whatever it needs to do over there. We'll get that one out. Let's just test one that it works. Well, it needs a signal for it to work, doesn't it? Hey, what happened to my global signal thing? Did I accidentally delete that? Let me just put that back. Oopsie daisy. Wire receiver set to channel operator shape 0. Now let's get that wire back in. There does need to be an output wire like this, but that can go straight in, and then it should go to the green. I think it was going through here because it was confused for a second, but maybe I need to put my bin. We gotta validate everything before we copy the design. Always validate before you copy. Yep, it's definitely going to the right output lane that I want now. Excellent. All right, great. So now we can copy this design over. Let me maybe put it somewhere a little bit easier to understand, which is on this line, maybe. Just give it space, guys. We've got such a huge platform to work with, and believe me, we're gonna need every single one of these tiles. So let's get that over to the other side. That way I can do whatever I need to do with hopping if I need to hop things. That is the symmetric equivalent on the other side. Great, that's cabled up. Now we've got to do the top half. So that's still going to be my brain, and it's still kind of in the center, which is great. Let's get rid of this gigantic mess of unnecessariness, and let's copy over the stuff that is necessary, which is that. We'll leave a little bit of room for the thing, and now we got plenty of room up here to work with as well for all the cabling. I have no idea in my old build how I was meant to get anything out here, but who knows. Maybe I should make that symmetric. I think if we change that middle one to out here, it will be symmetric, and I like symmetry. I know it's probably annoying you guys how much I like symmetry, but where I can be symmetric, I'll be symmetric. So if we get rid of one output belt over here, we'll get this one to be one of our outputs. Great. Now we've got 8 outputs. Okay. We can now wire the brain in to our signal. I think maybe just this way will be fine. I mean, we can always use alternative pathings. We have options. We have plenty of options. We need to get this cable across. To here. Something needs to cross or transmit or something. I'm just thinking, I don't want to go that way. I definitely want to go up the middle, I think. Let's go up the middle. Just like that. Maybe we should use the hoppers because we know we're going to need to do a lot of shenanigans along the middle here. So let's just give ourselves plenty of space to do that by making things that hop here. That's not enough room, but we can hop this thing. And then we need to hop again out this way, preferably something like that. Then we can wire that in, and then get that in input done. Great, so we're all inputting, they're all going out the green. Now, we need to do the output. So why is this keep going into my null signal? Is it because the signal was unhooked? Whenever the signal is unhooked, it keeps going into null. But that's fine, I don't think it's going to keep doing that. Let's just go the most direct routes first, and then we'll figure out how to do that better. So what I was saying is now I can hop. I can do that and get that null signal back this way. Something like that. So that one's going to go down, and this one's going to need to do something like that, and this one's going to go in, and that is 2 out. And then this null signal needs to also come down. I don't want it to block whatever's happening there. And this is the furthest away one. It needs to somehow hop across the other side. So let's use the law of least amount of tiles possible, because we're going to need every single tile in the world to do this. We'll just hop it over here like so. Need 1 tile back. Hop. Should I hop it somewhere better? No. We'll do it messy first, and then we'll clean up as required. Why is this not symmetrically even? That hopping is there. That hopping is there. I don't like that. But like when I'm building things symmetrically and I see something not symmetric, it indicates that I've done something wrong. So just want to keep everything symmetric. I think I definitely need to be on this 3x3 platform, or if I'm going to try to build this on, I don't even think the 2x2 has enough outputs to do all this craziness. So I'm going to keep the belts unjumped, so like full belts, but we will add jumpers when necessary. So let's just collapse as much as we can. We'll use the minimum amount of space possible, and then we will keep going because this is just 1 of 8. Surprisingly, no issues. I anticipated much more issues than that, but it looks good. We got all 8 we got all 8 outputs out, and now there's absolutely no way I can test this somehow. So how can I test this? Well, I need to change the brain, right? The brain's currently telling it green, so let's paint it. Let's paint it first, and then we'll test it. Because either way, whatever's wrong with this logic gate that decides which painting lane it goes in, the painting array is going to need to be built. And I really wish I managed to build the 1x1 painting array, but we're going to have to settle with the 2x1 I built. So it goes this way. Colors are going to go into it. Did I leave any space to work here? Obviously not. So my colors are over here now. Let's bring the colors across first. Give me 1 second. I'll probably speed through this because this is going to be super slow. I'm really bad at doing 50 billion belts at the same time. Oh. Oh no, when you do this, all right, can I go click and then go this way? Oh yeah, it lets me. Awesome. Now I just have to join this up. Maybe I won't fast forward because I somehow managed a really quick way to do that. Sometimes my brain comes up with useful things, most of the time not. Here's my colors, and I need to go through I need to make a painting array. Let's have a look. Let's just try to build one first, and then we'll learn from our mistakes. Paint goes in this side. So this, then, like, I want to build this as condensed as possible. Remember, guys, this MAM is only doing one layer, right? Oh, no, I shouldn't even say that. This whole thing we're building right now is only doing 1/4 of a shape. So whatever we build here needs to be duplicated 4 times to accommodate one full layer. And then that entire system needs to be duplicated another 4 times to accommodate 4 separate layers. So whatever you build, guys, it's going to be massive. Absolutely massive. So give yourself plenty of room like this. It's going to be 8 painting array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not 8. 1 is a bypass. So that should be that. Not in. 2, tab, down, up. 1 across. Tab, down, up. Oh, wait, no, it's 1. No, not 1. It's 2. 2. Tab, down, up. Tab, across, 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 tab, down, up. Done. Cool. So that's my 8 paints in, but then each one of these needs to have the belt for the shape in. So each one needs to correspond to, oh man, I should have labeled these as I went. All right, I'm going to try to figure out which color is which with labels. We need labels. So we'll put a label down over here. This will be null, blank, uncolored. Trying to figure out some good naming terminology for this. This one is what? That one is green. I don't even have space for labels. Green. The next one is coming from here. Is that cyan? You can always tell how good you've designed a system by how easy it is to troubleshoot. And given how hard this is to troubleshoot, I feel like I haven't done a very good job. Shift 1, 1. Let's clean up. Oh wait, that's a cable. Where does the shape go? It needs to go through. It has to go through 1. There's no need for it to go at the end, right? I don't need to put a bin or anything at the end. I keep putting bins everywhere, but let's just put a bin at the end just in case. We got space. It doesn't hurt us, right? I don't want my system to jam for whatever reason. I don't think it's possible for it to jam because it can only be one of these colors, right? White. I believe this one is yellow. It looks yellow to me. And this one is what? Magenta. And this one is going to, oh man, I don't even have space to put a label here. I'm gonna have to cut a cable. And that cable, man. Blue. Then we do that, and that one has got to be red, right? That's the only last color that I don't have. All right, great. So these 7, not that one, but these 7 need to route into these things. So let's route it. So red is first. So let's get red in. Let's move this platform out a bit. No need to be so cramped. As always, I'm always cramping my systems and not leaving myself enough to work. You have infinite space, guys. Infinite space to work. Don't cramp your systems. And you might be wondering, how the hell am I going to get the output out? But I'll figure out a way. So let's fix the output as we do this. So that needs to go under. And then I have just enough room to do my belt. Maybe the belt should go under. Yep, that makes more sense. Is that thing fine? Is that okay? I feel like this underneath part is intersecting, but it seems to be fine. Let's see if the green passes through. I believe that's fine. It looks like it's fine. I don't know, man. We'll test it out. We'll figure out how to detangle this spaghetti at some point. Remember, this is not an optimization series. It's just the first build, guys. Yellow is next, and yellow is where? White, yellow. This one is yellow. So let's get that one into here. Probably like something like that. Then we need to leave space for these two cables to work. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's get this out. So let's get 2 tab, and we'll get the underneath to start happening from here. Then we need to get this thing out. So we go tab and out. Then we need the next color, which is green. And green will need to be this one, and that's the one with our shape. Excellent. So let's give ourselves plenty of room. We'll cut the cables as we need to, like we'll pipe under and over the mess as we need to. It's not going to be pretty, guys. Like it's one of the most optimal things you can do to detangle this spaghetti is by having your 4, obviously the order of these 4 match based on the position of these belts, if that makes sense. Because this one's like blue, it should go like to the next one. That should be blue, and then this one is magenta, and that should be magenta. In fact, you know what would be clever? I just thought of this. You know, instead of why am I creating headache for myself? You know what's variable? The bloody color array that I do here. This doesn't need to be red. I can change it to any color I want. Why don't I match my colors here to here, and then we can just belt like this, and we can belt really cleanly. Oh man, I'm such a silly muppet sometimes, aren't I? Like, we don't care what colors what. We'll just belt it in, and then we'll adjust the colors accordingly. Right? We'll work backwards now. Wouldn't that be clever? Imagine me having a clever thought once in a while. Alright, let's work backwards. So this one needs to be red. It is red. Great. This one needs to be yellow. So this output needs to be yellow. This output needs to be green. Don't worry, if you haven't figured out what I'm doing, we won't need to rewire any of this. We just need to change these buttons, or not these buttons, these signal producers to tell it to output to the correct spot. This one needs to be cyan. So cyan. Then this one needs to be magenta. So we'll do magenta here. Like, it's super arbitrary how you do this, because depending on the order of your colors, yeah, this one needs to be blue. This one needs to be the last color, white. So white goes here. Like, even the order of my colors is not in like RGB order, just because of my crazy mixing array that I'm doing here. I did this before I started the MAM series. I just wanted one of every color. I didn't care what order they came out in, so it just is whatever order, like red, green, and then it mixes into yellow, and then that pipes over. If you're wondering why my colors are in this weird, crazy order. Okay, cool. So at the moment, my output labels are all correct now, but these are not piping to the correct one. So for example, this is white, right? So all we need to do is configure that to be color W. And that's white now. What? Why did that change to something else? Color. Wait, is this case sensitive? Oh my god, that's clever. All right. Then the uncolored remains the same. The blue needs to come from here. So that's this signal, which is this signal, I believe. So that needs to be color B. So is that right now? Red, white, yellow, green, blue. Yeah, that's one of every color. So now I just need to copy this and overwrite whatever's here. What's an easy way to do that? Wait, we can keep the red. We just need to change these 6 colors. So can I just copy this, Shift F, and paste it here? Is that right? Looks super. Just trying to see. I don't want to like make an error, a copy and paste error. Can I do that? Can I just do that and then that will just fix it? Oh, it does. Excellent. F, rotate. There. I'm still really bad with my like rotations and stuff. So now this is jammed up, but that's fine. But now see, it's going through the new green signal, and if we trace the new green signal, it's going to go out across here, out to the green, and then that green is going to pipe into our green painter. Yay! We do need to fix this piping though. That goes out directly, that goes out directly, that goes out directly. And we just need to belt out our uncolored one. the bypass in a similar way, and that's it. That's our painting array done. Is there a smarter place to put this brain to make it a little bit cleaner? I think there is. We can probably put it like in the gap over here. Would that be better? Okay. We've got to make this as small as possible. Remember, this is only dealing with a quarter shape. So, yeah, you can imagine. Let me just cut as much of this cabling as possible. Cabling! Belting! Let me just cut as much of this belting as possible. Stop calling it cabling. Alright, let's put that there. What if we just put it there? Let's cut this. And let's line it up as much as we can, like that. Is that enough breathing room for you? I think so. I want to make this as compact as possible in the space area, so it's not absolutely massive for no reason. That goes there, that goes there. Oh, this is working out more beautifully than I can have imagined. Look at that, guys. Look at that. What is happening? Did I build something amazing? The belting is actually working out in my favor for once. Can I get this any more compact? Do I want to get this any more compact? I don't believe so. This actually looks nice. What? It turned into a square. How did this happen? Oh man, happy accidents, happy accidents. Alright, let's see if this is working. It's the most important thing. So this is using one belt of each paint. But I technically need 4 belts of each paint. Oh, what? Do I need 4 belts of every single paint? Let me think about this. This is the same problem that I'm going to have optimizing this. Because while it's not using 7 belts of paint, theoretically, it could be using 4 belts of green to paint the shape, right? Because what if you had 4 quarters that were green? You would need 4 belts of green, and all of this other stuff will be wasted. So each painting array does need 4 belts of every color. Holy moly. Is that right? This must be the most, like, it will work, but this must be the most inefficient way to do it possible. That can't be right. There can't be. I can't need 4 belts of every color. That's 28 belts of color I need just for one layer. And then I need that times 4 to do all 4 layers. Is there a more efficient way to do this? Remove this redundancy of needing another 7 belts of color? I mean, each one can transport 4 belts worth of color, which is great, which is what I've done here. And then split off into its 4 constituent parts. But that's still a total mess. A total mess. Alright. We take it one step at a time, guys. We take it one step at a time. First of all, we need to validate, is this even working right now? Because at the moment, I don't see a green. Oh, no, it is working. It's a green shape. Let me put down my bins just to flush out any crap in them. And now I've got a quarter of a colored shape. Why is it not doing stuff? The green's coming in, it's coming through, and then it is pumping out green. Why is only 3? What's wrong with my painter? This is my painter from my blueprint painting series. One of my belts is not receiving a shape. That's the input. Oh yeah, it's not receiving a shape. So there's something wrong with one of my selectors, which is this one, and that's going over here. The hopper is missing. What? The hopper is sideways. Look at that little tiny little bug. There we go. That's working now. Any other tiny little bugs we can spot? That's fine. That's looking like it's working. And this thing is strangely cut for some reason. What is happening over here? Why is my painting array deleted? The heck? I must have accidentally deleted it. Alright, cool. So that's working. That should give me all the greens. A full belt of greens. We need to scale this up to 3 levels to make it correct. But before I do that, should we test every color? No, that'll take too long. I assume this is working. Assumptions make me stupid. Well, this video has gone on long enough. So I think we will probably, I don't know, but I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I want to output the green shape before I end this video. And how do I output the green shape? I'm going to need to fix my color mixer array to actually utilize all 4. Because I'm actually pulling, before the series started, I knew I would need crap loads of color. So each one of these belts is actually pulling a full 7,200 liters per minute. I'm just not mixing at 7,200 liters per minute because at the time I made this, I didn't have my color mixing blueprint. So, yeah, I guess I should get it working, right? And the only way I know how to get it working right now is by creating, we're going to need a full output belt of every single mix color. So we're going to have to do this, guys. So that means if we're going to need a full output belt of every mixed color, then I'm going to have to do the mixing separate to this thing. So this is already a full belt of red, but to get a full belt of yellow, for example, I need another two, like a half belt of red and a half belt of green to get 4 yellow, and then merge that together. All right, let's do this, guys. There's no point fussing around about it. I might just fast forward through this part. There's no point talking about it because this is not MAM related. This is just going to be design. So I'll do it. I'll fast forward. You can see the time lapse. Alright, I made one, guys. I think I'm going to go with this design. So I'll just quickly explain it before I copy it over, and we'll go back into time lapse to make the other 3 mixed colors. So I'm using my new color mixer that I did in my in my blueprint redesign series. You can see that in my playlist if you go to my channel. But basically it takes whatever it inputs, it doubles the output. So I'm getting 2 belts of red, 2 belts of green, and merging it onto a single space lane that can carry 4 belts worth. But that's basically a 3600 liter per minute space belt, a 3600 liter per minute space belt. It's being split in half into 2 color mixes because that's all one unit can handle. Then it's producing 4 lanes of yellow out. So 2 lanes of red, 2 lanes of green, 4 lanes of yellow, all merged onto a single belt. I'll bring this back into the MAM. So we're going to do the same thing for blue, cyan, magenta, and eventually white. And then we'll bring all the output back into here, and I'll redo this color stuff. All right, back to the time lapse. Alright guys, I am back and I think I'm finally done. Holy moly, that was a long thing. Basically, I've pulled in now 4 full belts of every color. So this should all be 7200 liters per minute of every color after it all flushes itself. Obviously, the order of the color changed, so I had to rewire this platform to correctly output to those colors. So that solves our problem of having 4 belts per color. I just want to really validate this assumption before I continue, because if you think about it, that color's a quarter of a shape, right? But let's assume the most extreme case where we have our 4 quarters all being the same color. Then I definitely need 4 belts of yellow, right? Because say they're all green. So I need 4 belts of green. One would color 1 quarter, another will color another quarter, and then the rest is just not doing anything. But I do need 4 belts of every color to fully color a shape by quadrant. I don't think there's any way around that, but if there is, please tell me in the comments. So I need to figure out how to split this, and if you thought this mess of belt when it's splitting into 4 was a mess, wait till you see this. I'm gonna time lapse this again because there's no point for you guys to see this happening. Alright guys, I am back and I think I'm finally happy with my bypass. Man, that's forever to do. Alright, let's check our thing back on here to make sure it worked. I had to reorder the colors a few times. I tried a few different designs, but basically since these are 4 belts of 7200, I need to peel off a belt's worth into each one of these painters 4 times for each of the 4 quarters. And I couldn't find a good design to do this, but I think I've landed on this design. I don't know if it's the best. It looks like a bit of a mess. And I realized my white wasn't coming through, but I fixed that as well. So that should come through in like 10 minutes. But otherwise, I think this works. Just trying to figure out how much gap to leave between each one. Let's just leave plenty of gap because I feel like we're going to need it. Let's just leave that much gap. And we'll leave the same amount of gap between each one. How about that? Does that sound like a good plan? Is that the same amount of gap between the bypass? Yep, like this much gap between each bypass. Game's really struggling. I can't, this thing's getting so big, I can't avoid asteroids anymore, I don't think. But essentially, that should do all of the stuff we talked about. Let me just check the right belts are going into the right colors. So red is going into red, green is green, blue is blue. The next one is magenta. I had to do this before the belts came, so just want to double check. White is white, yellow, cyan, and then yellow. Cyan, and then yellow. Thank God I designed this thing cleanly. All right, great. So now I've got 4 of these splitters. This last one doesn't need to do this crazy split, really. It can just go out, right? So let's clean up this last one. And that's the end of the belts. Oh man, this was insane, guys. And you know, the other thing is I realized I haven't validated whether the way I've peeled off the belts actually even works. Like, because I've just peeled it off like here, right? Because if you think about it, whether fluid mechanics works properly depends on this. If you have a pipe with 7200 and you want to split it into 4 pipes of 1800 each, you can split it off like this, right? 3 and then 4. And then like, but does it know that only a quarter goes through here and 3/4 goes through the rest, and then a quarter comes off here, a quarter comes off here, and a quarter comes off here? Or am I forced to split it 50-50 first, then 50-50 again, like this, right? So do I have to do this sort of like forking thing, or is this okay? Because I'm doing this right now, and if that doesn't match my throughput, then I'm screwed. But anyway, before we can duplicate this over to all our other things, we do need to copy this up a few layers, right? Because at the moment it's only working on 1 level, and we want it to be working on all 3 levels, because all our other stuff works on 3 levels. And I think somebody told me you shouldn't be doing this. You should just make the MAM work on 1 level. And I might come to regret that, but that's all right. And again, my bins don't work, but I don't think I need the bins. Oh, am I going to regret not getting the bins wired in properly? I should just wire the bins properly, right? Just in case the system jams up. I want to make sure everything else works. Obviously, the wiring doesn't work because wiring reasons. We'll get 1 to go up to level 2, and we'll get 1 to go up to level 3 quickly. So we got to pull. So let's do it somewhere that makes logical sense, like here. So to pull a wire up, you need to do that. And then we can do the other one on this side. And to pull it up, we go up 1 level, up 2 levels, and in there. And all these wires should be connected. All right, this hopper is on level 3. It needs to be backwards now, because the wire signal is coming in that way. All right, cool. So all 3 levels wires should be working now, and they should be getting 3 levels of input of shapes. And that should all be nice and happy. Can I delete some of these signs? No, I'll leave the signs. It's fine. Cool. I don't see any issue with the 3-layer version, but maybe I should pump a shape in just to double check, eh? We don't want to assume anything in this game. Let that run for a little while. Let my white catch up. My white is still very far behind. This has been an insane journey, and I still think there's obviously ways to do this more efficiently. I don't think I'm doing it the most efficient way possible. Like this, I thought this mess of wires is bad. Look at this craziness that's going on over here. What the heck? But I'm like, my maths makes sense, right? Like, there's no way you're going to be able to paint a quarter without 4 belts worth of color, because you have 4 quarters, so you need 4 belts of color. But this just seems crazy, because now, like, say this is just all for layer 1, right? And then when you're gonna need another bloody bunch of belt of colors to do layer 2, 3, and 4. Not only that, you're gonna need more colors to do other craziness. You're gonna need more colors to do crystallizing. So each crystallizing set is 2 belts, and you have to create crystals in quarters. Oh man, what the hell? You could have a layer of 4 crystals. Oh man, guys, I am I'm not liking this. I'm already, look how much asteroid I'm using. I've used every single colored asteroid in my vicinity. Thank God we had like 50k, 46k platform units. We're gonna end up using all 46k for one MAM. I might need to think about like training in my stuff. Like I might have to do all this via some sort of train system, like import all the materials into a central hub or something for the MAM. I didn't realize it was gonna get this crazy. Oh Lord. Input supply issues. All right, let's see if this is working. So we've got the shape in, it's going through the circuitry, it's going, I want you to go through the green belt. So it's going through the green belt and it's coming out, that's going through the green belt, and green is coming out the green end, and the green is going through the green painter, and the green painter is outputting out over here. Excellent. Before we copy it over, we do need to merge these outputs back out into our stacking array. So that's going to be now 1/4 of our shape, and it's going to be colored. Excellent. I guess we're ready to copy it over. Let's belt up the rest of the stuff. So we're going to give it some clearance. There's no way my belt's going to hop anything, so I need to give it like this much clearance at least. We'll give it 1 tile clearance. And then it can hop this thing, and then it can go off onto the second world. So we copy this over, and we move it up. And then let's do 2 parts of the shape. So this one goes in like that. Then that output comes out with the next shape. And then we get another belt of shapes. This is our other 1/4 of a shape. And that can just follow that, right? That's not an issue. We'll go hop under to give room for the outputs. We hop under again. And then we need another copy of this thing to go here. And we might as well just get our 4th copy in while we have it in our clipboard. There's going to be one big challenge, which is getting this MAM done before my computer crashes, because it is definitely not liking everything I've done already. How are you guys going with your MAMs? I mean, I'm sure you guys already finished your MAMs, and I'm just slow. But yeah, it's not a simple task, guys. Not a simple task. Any complex problem, you just approach it 1 step at a time, and just don't stress, just slowly. Eh? This is still a relaxing game, you know. I mean, what we're doing is hyper complex, but do it slowly, do it at your own pace, and just enjoy the process, you know. All right, we need to bring these all back in. So let's bring them all back in. We gave it plenty of output room. I don't want to bring it in there. Where's the center line for these 4 things? It's about between these 2, right? So let's bring it all into the center line, which is about here. And here. So what these 4 belts I'm pulling out now in essentially should be is the colored shape. The colored shape that we need to deliver. Hopefully. And if it's not, then it's troubleshooting time, right? Oops, that one doesn't go there. That goes there. That one goes there. And I've already forgotten which belt is which 1/4. But I think I kept it in the same order, right? In theory, 1 goes there, 2 goes there, 3 goes there. So they should be in theory in the same order. But yeah, we've got 2 pieces coming out, and they both look green because that's going out. This is a piece going out, and that looks like it's going to green, is it? Yep, it's all going to green. It's getting painted green, and then it'll come out here, and then that'll be our second green piece, and then we just put it through our lovely quartering thing that we made last episode. Sorry, our shape recombinator, as I called it. So yeah, that was our shape recombinator. Left, right, right, left, right, left. Yep, and then it recombinates, rotates it, recombinates, rotates it back, and then that should be our final shape, guys. We're done. We can make colored shapes now. Oh man, I think this episode is going to go on for way longer than an hour, but I believe I want to keep it like that because I want all the sort of content of what I'm doing to be all in one episode, even if one episode has to go for an hour and a half. I'll figure out how I can cut it down in editing if it's even possible. But yeah, I believe that's it, guys. I believe that's it. This shape has nothing to stack with, so it's passing straight through. So let's have a quick review of everything that we've done so far. So we've built our MAM site, which is great. Keeps us motivated and on track of what we're doing. Let's get rid of this crap. What we've done is we've rewired our colors such that each belt is carrying a full 7,200 liters worth of color. That way, when it goes through the painting array, we can split out 4 1,800 liter belts for our painting array, because that's what each painting array expects, an 1,800 per liter belt, or a quarter belt, as I like to call it, a quarter fluid belt. So we created this like splitter, so it splits off the colors into 4 belts, into 4 sets of these. Each one of these is a separate painting array designed to paint it into one specific color. Then we built this machine here that uses circuitry to determine which belt should it go out to get colored a specific color. So if it needs to go to be green, it's going to go through that belt. If it needs to be magenta, it'll go through that belt and go through the magenta colorer. Then all of that output's being merged back in. Then we're going through our combinator that we created last episode, which should now start combinating things, hopefully, now that stuff is coming through. And I believe soon we should see our first iteration of the correct shape, which I will go pin now. So we can see that happening. We'll copy that shape code and we'll replace the current shape code, which is that. And everything should be happy, right? Everyone should be happy. I'm happy. You're happy. I can see why there's a 25-minute lag to like change shapes. Someone was telling me about. They said when the shape changes, their MAM takes like 20 minutes to get rid of the old crap it was making and then switch into the new shape because of all of this belting that's happening. Because if you think about it, by the time this shape gets delivered, which let's see, is it combinating? Is it making that shape? No. Still, is something bugged? I was so confident it would make that. Oh, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a shape. Oh my god, it's working, guys. It works. It's colored. It's green. It's automatically coloring it green, guys. I'll keep talking for a bit while this shape delivers and changes. Hopefully that'll do. I want to show at least one iteration of it working. I might skip forward. I'll keep the recording. I don't know if I'm gonna like just skip through. I might skip through this boring part where nothing happens when we're waiting, but I'll probably do like a time lapse for the stuff where I'm building stuff, so you guys don't know that I'm not cheating. But anyway, what was I saying? So that should be working, but it's going to take a long time for it to change gears of shapes, because if you think about how long these belts are now, like this one's the furthest away. By the time this shape travels all the way up to this top belt to decide what color it's going to be, when this finishes delivering, it's going to take so long for that travel time to change when the shape changes. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a massive lag, and that's why you guys need to design your MAMs as compact as possible, using the least amount of space belt possible, and that way you'll reduce the lag of your MAM when it changes shapes. I believe that's how it's going to work, but in this series it's going to be too much scope to try to optimize all of the sizing of this thing. So even if we build the slowest MAM in the world, like a Pentium 3 or something, it's just going to have to do, and as long as it functions, right? And then we can probably do one final episode where I go through every single component of my MAM and try to like clean up the mess of belts and compact it into the most compact thing I can possibly make. Like I can already, is there any wasted space here? I don't actually see any wasted space here. But yeah, I was gonna say this, people have been telling me about this belt mess that I've made here. But again, if I think about it, because of the way the MAM works in quarters, each quarter can be any one of 4 shapes. So at some point, I'm going to need 4 full belts of this, 4 full belts of each shape. And I'm creating 4 full belts of each shape with quarterers. But I think what they were saying is if I reverse the order of what I'm doing, if I select the shape first, then quarter it. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to assess that, and that's not happening this episode because this episode's gone long enough. What is happening this episode is I believe my shape is now coming out, surely. I've been talking for ages and the shape's still not working? What? It is working, it's just taking forever for anything to happen. What the heck? What is not saturated? There's got to be a bug here. Something is not saturating. This shape is coming in at what looks like maximum speed, right? That's like maximum speed. Every belt is full. No, every belt is not full. What is going on? Alright, so basically there's something wrong with our throughput, because this should be now a full shape belt of this star. Let's have a look if it's something wrong with our painter. Our painter is not receiving a full belt of stars, which means there's something wrong with our filters. But this came in as a full belt, did it not? This is not even coming in as a full belt of stars. So then there's something wrong all the way back here. Oh man, this is going to be a long episode, guys. Sorry about this. Alright, let's go back here. Our rotator is full. Why is it doing this? It's like struggling to throw things onto the belt. Is it lagging? Is that why? What? What is going on here? Our rotator is struggling to chuck stuff onto the belt at a constant speed. I don't get that. This is saying 100% efficiency. It's throwing like 3 items onto the belt and then it's like, nope, I don't want to throw any more items onto the belt. So therefore you're not getting a full belt. Why? This thing's receiving everything at maximum. There's nothing wrong with the receiving end. What the heck is going on? How the hell am I meant to even troubleshoot that? Anyway, let's see if this shape is being delivered. Probably very slowly. I mean, surely it's all flushed out now. Because there's holes in my shape, that's why it keeps delivering only part of the right shape, because it's combining with gaps. My MAM can't have gaps because of the way these belt readers work. Oh man, this is going to be another bug to troubleshoot. What the heck is going on with this shape? Why is it just stopping? Like, it's stopping for no reason here. What if I chuck this into a bin? Is it lagging? Is my computer just like struggling to handle the ability to do this? What is going on, guys? What is going on? The bin looks like it's fully saturating perfectly fine. Look, the bin is perfectly fine. Something is wrong. There's definitely a bug here, guys. Look, that's perfect. Is this thing perfect? What? It's backed up. This thing is now outputting perfectly. And then when it hits my next thing, it seems to be getting confused here. Let me remove everything and have a look at this. There's nothing stopping this from outputting at maximum capacity. It's just a belt. It's literally just a belt. Unless this belt filter has a speed I'm not aware of. But it doesn't. It's just a belt. It should be perfectly capable of handling all these shapes. What is going on? I'm going to let this run for a bit and then see what happens when this full belt hits it. I think it has to do with this signaling. Because there's gaps everywhere, it doesn't like it. It does not like the fact that there's gaps everywhere. I'm going to cut the input cables for a bit and let everything stack up properly. And then I'm going to feed it back in when it's all fully stacked. Because that's now fully stacked. That's now fully... This painter is not getting a fully stacked thing. Alright, now it's getting a fully stacked thing. We'll let it fully saturate first. And then we'll decide. We might have to redesign this section a little bit. Because we can't have this going on. This can't be like, sometimes I stack, sometimes I don't stack. It should just use the correct signal that I give it. What I mean by that is, we shouldn't use belt readers. We should be using the global signal. Oh man, how am I going to use the global signal, man? It's going to be so hard. Oh, are my cutters backwards? It's producing the shape and then tossing it right in the bin. Awesome. Somehow I have reversed my thing. How is that possible? But it was exactly the same configuration as before. This is meant to be right. This is meant to be left. And this left is right and right is left. What? My labels are opposite to what my shapes are. What happened? But I copied it exactly the way it was here. So this is the right shape. It's the right shape. And then it's going into here. And then it's coming out here as the right shape. And then it's going into the left. Oh, it's just my left and the right is swapped. Oh my god. Alright, that's it. That's not a hard fix. We just got to take this. And then we just got to flip it. Right? Like that. Oh my god. Thank god. I hope that was an easy fix. I don't know. I don't know if that was the issue, guys. It doesn't seem like that would be causing the issue. But who knows. So my left and my right flipped. And all my stuff was getting deleted. We'll have to let that bypass through again. Oh my god, the troubleshooting for the MAM is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. But I think we definitely still need to fix this signaling belt because we can't have it jumping on and off depending on whether this belt reader is reading a signal or not. It needs to be like constant. And also this belt is not full of shapes. Why? See that? Yeah, it's that 3 gap for no reason. Is something wrong with my new painting array? Is that why? Is my painter like messed up or something? This is a brand new painting array that I made in my thingo. So many things I need to test. What is wrong with this thing? This thing's coming from over here, which is fully backed up. I don't understand why this happens. Like, it's completely full. There's no gaps, and then it's just struggling to constantly output into this thing. Like, let me just test with a bin. It outputs into a bin perfectly happily. I mean, I've tested my painting array in the series. I know it works fully. Look at that. It's fully painting the shape. It's perfectly fine. It must be some weird glitch, honestly. Guys, I'm not sure what that bug was, but I've let the system run for a while, and you can see it is now correctly creating the right milestone shape, and it is fully saturated. The only thing I did was reset these belts by deleting it and redoing it. There was absolutely no reason I could see for that little bug I was showing before to happen. Yeah, so anyway, it delivered the milestone shape. I'm going to claim it, and then it's gone back to uncolored shapes. I guess we can check whether our uncolored bypass is working. I'll fast forward to when that happens. Alright guys, I found a bug in the MAM, and it looks like the null signal is not the same as uncolored. Oh my god. See, it's not letting any shape through. So we definitely have to fix that signal. I believe the signal is currently an uncolored shape, right? Did I not put a... Let me just hide all this crap. Did I not put a display? Is this not an uncolored shape? I don't know. How do we... I wish it could give you the shape code. Alright, so missing and uncolored shape are 2 different things. Is it gray? How do I get the color to be gray? I found it here in the knowledge panel, guys. Knowledge panel, color U. U is uncolored. Oh my lord. Gonna have to fix this for everything. Now it's going through. Alright. My fault, guys. My fault. And now, because we did it wrong on one and have copied it across everything, we need to now manually fix it everywhere. Oh no. Alright, fix one platform, guys. Let me just copy that platform across to all the others. Alright, I think that's done, guys. I think we are actually done now. Now the uncolored shape is going through. It's going through the uncolored section, which is correct, and that will come up and bypass the coloring array, and that will continue to make that shape. And we do have 3 shape parts coming through, guys, so that's excellent. I can see already one of them is going through the uncolored, routing around and going into our stacker potentially, although there's only a couple of these shapes, which is a little bit concerning. But yeah, I think the concept of our color, what should we call this thing? The dynamic color picker definitely works. So if you're confident that that works, I'm going to save this blueprint, and all my blueprints will be available in the link in the description. So we'll just control S that. And what should we call this? That's the most important thing. Every time you finish making a function, you should have a good name for it. I'm going to stick with my dynamic color picker selector. Keep it like, you know, fancy names. And that's it, guys. I think I dragged this episode long enough. I guess you get the point. If there's anything wrong with this, you know, use my blueprint, go do some homework yourselves, and have a look at whether there's any issues with mine, or if there's any bugs, or if it's not efficient. If you guys think you can do it better, let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely incorporate all your suggestions in my designs. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.